Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
Got your attention?
What is the biggest ick?
People like wrestling.
You can suck my fucking dick!
Damn!
Hey everybody, we're back. It's Thursday night week. Your host, Papa Wheelie, me Beckerman, James Willie is back. He's returned to us, and of course we have the immortal Biggie Shack.
That's right, man. Glad we're back, dude. Hope everybody's doing good. What's up, Pop? What we got? What we got rocking this week, Becker?
You know what? I just saw something in that intro that I don't think we've talked yet. Did anybody catch A&E's biography a couple weeks ago on Paulie? I thought that was pretty good.
What's up, Bleacher?
As far as those go.
Dangerously. He's hardcore. He's pretty good.
I mean, he's just lived quite the life. I didn't know as much about his family as they went into there, and I thought they'd maybe say more about his, like, whoever he has his kids with, if he's still with her or not. They weren't too clear on that, but I thought the stuff with him and his mom was really interesting. His mom was a concentration camp survivor, and just a lot of the life he's led has been like trying to go as big as possible for her, you know.
I tell you the thing I think it was always interesting about Paulie is like when he was like 35, he looked like he was 50. Like he always looked older than what he should have been, you know, like he was 30 and he looked like he's 40 and shit. It's like, why do you look so old? You know, now he don't look so bad, but when he was a little younger, he seemed like he was a lot older of a guy, and he was pretty young.
It's almost like he has the ability to age himself, because during that Bloodline stuff with Solo, where it was him versus Solo, like he looked like he aged like 30 years during that promo.
Yeah. Do you think it's interesting and smart that they've kept him out since the table?
Yeah. I think it's great.
It's pretty intriguing. I mean, they're not able to use him. I mean, he's a draw by himself. He makes the crowd pop. People love him. The whole, you know, head of the table shit isn't really working without him, in my mind. Like, they're just not as big as they would look with him. So
and now you can have that moment where he returns and you'll get a second huge pop like the Roman pop.
Right. When they see him with whoever it is, then it'll make sense. It don't make sense without him.
Do you think Paulie will return with reinforcements for Roman, somebody like Jimmy Uso, or would they go really crazy and bring Brock with them?
I think that you what do you think the rumor is, my guy? Fucking James.
I think it's going to be the Usos, because you got to have the Usos come back and fight for the tag team belts against Jacob and Jacob and
Tamatonga, Tongaloa.
Whichever. Tamatonga, I think it is.
Yeah,
right?
Tongaloa is the one that can't hit
with the
somebody
eye
in
patch.
the
He
nose.
sucks and can't wrestle if his life depended on
He
it.
blew a nut shot. Like, how do you miss hitting somebody in the nuts?
It's good wording too, right? He blew the nut shot.
I heard the rumor is the guy that's the enforcer, the really radical good one. What's his
Jacob.
Name? Jacob Fatu.
He's sick. Yeah.
Well, hold on. This is the rumor though. They're saying they haven't seen him with them since something. I can't remember what it was.
He hurt in the storyline. He hurt his leg.
What if he's the plant for?
What if he comes back with Roman and Paul Lee? Is what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
I thought about that too.
I thought you would say that. That's why I threw it to you. But the other one's good too.
All of that stuff makes sense.
I can see a few different angles because we have a lot of stuff to go through over the next. Because I mean, WrestleMania is where it'll all we'll get all the big matches, like all those matches we're talking about. Until then, it'll be like,
the one that Becker said's the best. Like, if we could have Brock and Roman, that would be great. But I don't know if Brock comes back from what he's coming from.
Brock is, if he comes back, the only option you have for Brock is Gunther. That's it. Because everybody wants that. I've wanted that like forever, I'm thinking so also too. I really want to see, for whatever reason, Braun Breaker and John Cena.
So Cena said, I saw an interview, the rest of this year is for Peacemaker, and then 2025, his entire schedule is clear, and it's his retirement tour with WWE. What are some of the matches we have to see with Cena? I think
WrestleMania against Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship.
What else do you do along the way? What other stops do you make? What opponents do you have? Randy Orton, got to do another Orton, right?
Randy will eventually turn on Cody, and that'll be your match for Mania.
I think
that's my guess.
I think that it's going to be there's two. So he's announcing his retirement. He's not going to wrestle much. It's going to be a lot of publicity, a lot of I'm here, maybe some I'm going to do a interview or whatever. But if he's wrestling, I think it's going to either be The Rock or Cody Rhodes. And then
comment that.
I don't know if y'all heard this or not, but Taker's been mumbling about wanting one more match. I know it don't sound good. I'm just saying, like, so I don't think Cena's just going to wrestle for Intercontinental and some other bullshit. Like, these are his last few matches. Like, he's only got 60. He's probably already spent 15 of them doing bullshit.
I agree.
Stinky N says, send me the link. I don't.
Yeah.
Do you know who that is, Pop?
Well, you can't come, Stinky. We don't know you. Sorry.
Well, if Pop does.
I know. All I see is CM Punk and Rollins down the line, too. And we got to have Rock and Roman. That's the end game for Mania.
I'm glad that someone else is thinking Rock's got to come back, because I think Rock needs another match. Cena needs it. He's going to have a couple. I think all these appearances, he's only have 2 or 3 matches, though. I don't think it's going to be a lot.
So, Stinky, Papa asked you to IG him.
Not to IG him. I just saw you shake your head no. What do you think they're going to do with them, Beck?
Well, I think you got to have. I mean, you're right. He's not. It's not like he's going to work every week. So, what are the ones that mean the most? And then what are the ones that are going to give the people what they want to see, which is the AA and the You Can't See Me, and maybe throw a couple squashes in there. And I think when you're looking for a villain that needs to just get his comeuppance, Dominic Mysterio delivers.
Against Cena?
Yeah.
Why not? Wow.
They did it with Punk. Remember that house show?
I mean, he's a good worker and shit. I just...
Yeah, throw Dom to Cena for a big house show, or like a Madison Square Garden house show, or a Monday Night Raw just for funsies.
I don't know. I feel like he ain't going to. I mean, it's like this is his last few bats, huh?
It'd be a night off for both guys. Dom can sell his ass off.
Yeah.
Cena will make quick work of him.
I don't know.
That's just a not obvious one. I think would be good. I don't know how many underneath villains they have.
I mean, you said Orton. That's pretty smart.
Oh, like Orton for sure. You got to do an Orton.
I like Orton.
I think you need to make the guys coming up, so you probably need to do a job for Braun Breaker, and potentially maybe do you try to put over a Carmelo Hayes or somebody like that?
I don't know. Did y'all hear that?
Obafemi, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, but I don't see him. I see him going through the old classic matches on his way to retirement.
Did y'all hear about the Monet chick, Mercedes Monet or whatever the hell, got divorced from that weird-looking dude?
It sounds like they've been split up for a while.
Oh, they've been split for a while, yeah, but they're finally
going to clothes. The ring gear.
He's the ring gear guy. He's the ring gear guy. That's absolutely right.
So let's talk about the drama of AEW too. What about Britt Baker getting suspended?
She's back though,
and then back. Did we talk about this last week? Did we have a show?
I never went into, and I didn't go back and find out what actually happened between her and MJF.
So there's a lot of false information out there, according to MJF. But essentially, what he didn't seem to deny was that in front of somebody he cares about, presumably his fiance, wife, whatever, that he's kept pretty sheltered from the business, she made a comment during his match backstage in front of talent and this person that MJF was his guest, that why are they going so long? Like, this is stupid. You know, basically buried his match with Will Ospreay, which, who the hell are you? By all reports, Will Ospreay is actually the one who blew his top first. But this person went to MJF, told him what she heard. Like, you know, this woman was really rude and she didn't like your match and she was openly criticizing it. I'm just reading Bleeker's. How many big stars are there really, and can you name them? Big stars in WWE?
I would guess he's talking about AEW.
Or AEW.
Mm-hmm. I can't name a lot.
So for AEW, I guess Moxley's still a name. Jericho is still a name.
Jericho.
Samoa
Kenny
Joe.
Omega, if he ever comes back.
Oh no, WWE.
Okay.
That's a lot easier.
Well, so not, and I won't include part-timers like John Cena. So let's go Randy Orton, main event Jey Uso, Gunther. Yes, Biggie, he is a star. Braun Breaker.
Well, I was side eyeing the Jey Uso main event. Jey Uso, who the fuck is he? He's not, that's a mid carder.
I knew you were going to say something. Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Solo Sikoa by default,
Roman Reigns,
Ilya Dragunov, yeah.
Dragunov, shit.
Hey, you still got to say AJ Styles, right? Like, he's got the name recognition.
Of course. Miz should be a little bit better than what people think. I think he could make a run, honestly.
He was just really good for business, that's all. Because he didn't say no to having to put somebody over.
All right, Pop, go.
The A&E story was great, but a lot of it was in Paul's Blu-ray they have on Peacock.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I haven't watched that, so this was new to me, and I found it pretty interesting. They were pretty generous about how they painted him, you know. They didn't mention all the people he owed money to in ECW.
No. Yeah, there's a lot of people that he owes money to, you're right.
Yeah, Tommy Dreamer, I think, is probably one of the most vocal.
New Jack. He owed New Jack some. I guess.
So like 10 guys, that's not enough for you, Bleak?
I'd say there's about 20. that you could almost put in the main event.
I would say there's 20 that you could send to AEW and they'd be a top star.
Oh yeah, big time. Now I would say there's only 10 in AEW.
Because I didn't even name the women. So, okay, I named 10 dudes. Let's go Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair when she comes back, Bayley, and Becky Lynch if she's still around. That got me to 15.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Kevin Owens, fuck it. I don't think you said
KO there.
I don't think you said him.
KO, Roman Reigns, those would both, yeah. Be time.
You gotta say Dom. You gotta say Dom, man, because
Heat getting machine.
Any pop is pop, bro.
Yep.
Whether it's cheers or whether it's booze. The fact that the guy can't even speak, he's doing his job above and beyond.
I mean, LA Knight,
character wise.
You got LA Knight, you got what's the other guy?
Logan Paul, but I wasn't gonna name part-timers.
No, I'm thinking of someone else. It'll come to me later.
LA Knight's another good one.
But that don't matter. So Kevin Sullivan passed. That's pretty sad.
Let's talk about that.
Dungeon of Doom.
I wasn't very aware.
Kevin Sullivan, wrestler, or Kevin Sullivan, behind the scenes booker, promoter?
What's more important?
Yeah, what was?
Definitely wrestler. His Florida stuff with Dusty was legendary. And then, you know, he had some stuff with Hogan. I think that he had some really good promos against Hogan. He'd be like, Hogan, you know, and just his whole Legion of Doom WCW stuff.
But by that point, he had already moved into the booking table too.
Right. Yeah.
He was booking that was at the end of his career. Dungeon of Doom is like tail end of Kevin Sullivan's career.
Behind the scenes is better.
Why though?
Yeah. Because I think he came up with he was really good at helping those guys develop stories. You know what I mean? Like, I think the NWO, we can all agree, is great. I think all of those guys, Hogan and Nash, at least in interviews, I've heard Kevin Sullivan would be a guy they would go talk to. Like, what do you think we should do with this?
Yeah, but it wasn't his idea.
No, but that's the thing. He was a polisher, you know?
Who the hell gets the credit for NWO? Bischoff?
I would say Scott and
Nash?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, Bischoff came to those guys, so.
Well, it wasn't supposed to be Hogan at first. It was supposed to be somebody else.
Right. Like, I mean, Scott and Bischoff, I would guess, get the most credit.
It was supposed to be DDP or something.
I think it was supposed to be Sting.
It was. It was supposed to be Sting. Sting blew it off. And Hogan kind of took it from him. Sting could have took it, I would guess.
I was going to say, I think Hogan took it from him.
Yeah. I think Sting might have took it. Yeah.
See, wrestling needs that time frame, that timing again, you know, where it was like
how good of a
watching both at the same time because you want to see what's going on, whereas one's taped and one's live.
Here's my thing about Sullivan's booking, okay? How good of a booker are you whenever you book your own divorce?
Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
Are you good booker when you do that? I don't think that's very good.
Weren't they already separated by that point?
No,
Nancy?
no,
they weren't. Were they?
No,
yeah.
he pushed it in that direction, bro.
What was he gonna do though? Once her and Benoit started together, you gonna physically intimidate Benoit?
I don't know what the fuck. He's just not. I don't think he's as smart as people give him. I mean, he's that's why I said the wrestling, because he was a satanic figure in a Bible Belt place
for a long time. Yeah,
he was hardcore. He had the freak the what do they call him, the the creature or whatever the hell, Mind Link. What was his name?
Yeah.
Missing Link.
Missing Link. Missing
Yeah.
Link.
He had freaking Missing Link with him. He had some other goon. If people went back and looked at his wrestling, that was pretty smart. His booking, I don't give him credit for NWO. I give him credit for the Benoit crap and Dungeon of Doom. And those are not great. I mean,
And one of the
fun.
worst incarnations of the Four Horsemen.
Well, I mean, the grown-ass people bench it couldn't keep it in his pants.
I can't look back at his booking and think it was genius. You couldn't lose with Hogan back then, and he made Hogan look corny. You know, like.
I'm gonna need a help from Google. I want to know what the internet considers Kevin Sullivan's best booking.
Best work, yeah.
Because I'm sure as hell not coming up with it.
Yeah, that's okay. Either way, he's a little guy. He did good he's kind of a beefy guy. I'd say his best matches were with Dusty. He had his little R-word brother, Dave Sullivan. I love that gimmick. I don't know. I thought it was fun. And then the Missing Link stuff, and then he does have some booking. And then, you know, the whole Benoit crap. People were thinking that he was the reason Benoit got whatever happened. And people truly believe he's a satanic figure. He's a real satanic person, but he would swear up and down he wasn't. So I didn't think he'd pass before a lot of guys, and he's gone. And, you know, he made a lot of money booking, you know, so he's a pretty smart guy. For as small as he was, he did a lot of work, and he wasn't a bad wrestler. Like, I could watch a Sullivan match. It was ridiculous at some points, but he does okay. Kind of reminds me of Valentine, Greg the Hammer.
Yeah, I mean, so he was head booker at WCW well into 98. So 97 and 98, you've got some good stuff, but I do get your point. Do you give that to him as the booker, or did he just have the talent
Kevin was
gonna? Sorry, pal.
Kevin was a lot of help during the NWO.
You think so? Okay. It just okay. Back in WCW, I felt like you got a plan, you got a gimmick. The wrestlers showed up, and they did what we all love. They ad-libbed. They were able to say what they wanted on the mic. They didn't call matches. There wasn't a lot of writing. It's not like this polished turd we have now. So that's why I find myself watching WCW, because all they got was who's going to win and who's going to lose. You do everything in between pretty much. And so the writers, you didn't have a team of writers. You just had the guy that was in the gorilla position that told you what you did for a few minutes. You know, like, I don't think it's as stringent as it is now, or even before. Like, WCW bookers were just there to get you in position, you know. Now, Dusty, I would say people learn from Dusty. I don't know how much they learned from Sullivan. Sullivan seemed like a little grumpy, fucking whiny bitch a lot of the time, so I don't know.
He's really known for making careers, though.
Yeah. I don't know much about it. Like, who did he work with that gives him a lot of credit?
Let's see.
So, because they had the other guy, Hugh Morris, for WWE, people said that shit about him. I haven't seen a lot of Sullivan guys pop up and say he did that, but I could be wrong. I mean, he's worked with Dusty, probably pretty smart.
Hey, Tate, what's up, man?
Whoa.
Whoa, I gotta go through a whole lot of history here. Boston Battler, Prince of Darkness, Jimmy Garvin, George Scott, Eddie Gilbert, then he goes to WCW. All right, he became the foil for Hogan. And then who did he get attention for?
Who did he work with? Did he really develop anybody? I don't know. Was he in the Performance Center? I felt like Sarge and whatever was in the power plant. I don't think Sullivan was really. There was no Ohio Valley Wrestling. You know, that was it. Power plant.
Sullivan was right in the middle of the angle at Bash at the Beach in July 1996 when Hogan turned heel to join Nash and Hall. Sullivan stated Hogan was hesitant right up until the show, with Sullivan stating he hid Hogan in his house to keep him away, which I've heard before.
Okay.
From anyone trying to talk him out of it. So he hid at Kevin's house. That's a big moment. I mean, if he was part of what made that moment happen, you got to give him a first get there. After being trained at the power plant, Bill Goldberg would make his official debut.
He always gave all his credit to Sarge.
Sullivan assigned the inspiration. Oh, Sullivan was the booker for that, though.
He booked the Bash at the Beach. That's cool.
He was the booker for Goldberg's matches.
Okay.
In 1998, Sullivan was still involved with the booking of the show, but at a certain period transitioned to an agent's role as booking duties were all over the place.
I do like the fact that he put Goldberg over 100 times. I think that's smart. That's cool.
I'm still looking at careers. He launched the New Radicals. I don't know if I'd brag about that.
Nope. Probably wouldn't brag about that.
He helped find Damian Priest.
Okay.
In 2016.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So you're just compare all of that to his wrestling. I'd say wrestling dwarfs it by a mile.
I would too. I mean, you always hear though, like guys like Cornette say that Kevin Sullivan was one of the best booking minds he knew.
Who said that? Cornette? Wow. Well, fuck, I can't argue that. Cornette. I'd say Cornette shaped Paul E too. He's like a new modern Paul E, you know.
Well, he blooded gusher for Paul E in a white suit.
Yeah, I mean they're
the
both
Dangerous Alliance.
They're both kind of the same figure type, honestly. Like the rich, prancy guy that comes to wrestling and stuff, you know.
Yeah. Well, rest in peace to Kevin Sullivan, whether as a booking agent or an agent or a wrestler. He had a long time in the business, and I know a lot of people spoke very highly of him.
What's your favorite Kevin Sullivan moment?
For me as a kid, I was big into the Dungeon of Doom. Like, I hated them. I hated them. I wanted Hogan to, but like Hogan was always so spooked out and disoriented, and there was trap doors and
Hogan had his moment with everybody. He even had one with Sullivan. So when he was going against Sullivan, Hogan turned to the dark side, brother, and he wore all black, and you didn't see the yellow and red no more. And I got into that shit. I was like, you know,
no, and honestly, that was probably the only stuff I saw at the time it came out. I was a little too young when he had his earlier territory runs. But his WCW towards the end of his career, Dungeon of Doom.
Yeah, and when you look back at him being younger, he had some cool shit. He was hardcore as hell. You know, he made people bleed. He did the whole crucifixion crap. He had satanic followers, all types of shit. You know, Woman was with, well, of course she was with him, but like people just think of her with Benoit. She was with Sullivan for years. Like she was with him for 20 years before she met Benoit. 10 years.
That whole story was crazy how they just Like the vignettes that they used to do where they'd be like going out to dinner and like
that's what he booked.
it's just weird, bro.
Yeah, Sullivan booked that.
Weird.
He's like, she's my wife. It'll be all right. You know, oh, go on a romantic dinner with this fucking stud wrestler, Benoit, that's got a super future coming his way, right? Genius.
Yeah, I don't really want to get down a conversation where we
I
get into Chris Benoit.
I think I touched about everything I could think of. I'm sure y'all got some AEW stuff. Did we ever get the match in London? Oh, we did the London crap with
That's this weekend.
This
Oh,
weekend.
this weekend. Okay. We watched SummerSlam together. We talked about that, didn't we?
I believe we did.
I think we did. Yeah.
The
Yeah, I
return
think
of
we
the
did last time.
OTC.
So we're just kind of where we are, you know.
Now the next event for WWE is Bash in Belfast or something.
Berlin.
Berlin, that's it.
We didn't get to talk to James about how he feels about LA Knight getting a strap and Breaker getting a strap. What do you think of that, bro?
I kind of knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, you
Inevitable.
said that kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a matter of time. It's not like when I say stuff, it doesn't mean it's going to happen like tomorrow. Sometimes it's like, you know, in the future, 3-6 months down the road, we'll get some crazy shit. Like, who would have thought that the Judgment Day would have ever broken up?
They didn't
Now,
break up. They're still together.
Sure.
I know Becker gave you flowers for the Wyatt Six and shit, but I'm going to say myself, I think they're laying a big turd right now. Like,
It's not good.
it's not looking good.
Yeah, I think they played it out a little too long. By a little
Yeah.
too long, I mean by like at least 2 months. They could have
many
condensed
vignettes.
it all and then come out with these things. Well, like the vignettes and stuff are kind of cool, but they could have been doing that while they had the wrestlers not say anything in wrestling. Like, oh, this week we're gonna get and like have that wrestler wrestle that week, right? And then you see the vignette of him talking to Bo Dallas or fucking Howdy or
Yeah, am I supposed to
Harper,
like
whoever it's
the
supposed to be.
evil murderers? Because they make me want to like them when they show Bo Dallas talking about what he's been through. But then they do evil murderer stuff, and I don't like them anymore.
Well,
It's
it's
confusing.
about the show, yo. I'm entertained.
It'd be like if Michael Myers came out and like murdered a bunch of women, but then he like cut your lawn for you and brought your mail in while you were out of town, so nobody like.
Well,
thought
he
you
killed
were
Liv
gone.
Morgan and she came back. Chucky,
Yeah,
you know.
I think he shot Gable in the head.
Are you
And
sure
he's
he shot him?
okay. I don't know. There was blood coming out of his brain.
There was just a hole.
Yeah. Pop's got a question.
Well, weren't Karen and Double J fuck around during his angle with Angle?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all that stuff is crazy. I don't know. Like, and then think about the whole, you know, Hardy, Edge, and Lita, like that whole thing, and like, it's always a thing. But you got to know, like, think about it, man. You're a bunch of fucking, or sorry, pardon my French. You're a bunch of well-groomed people in the same business. You have a lot of the same likes. You probably can't go and do certain things, so you're more obligated to do things together. Of course, you're gonna. Come on, man.
Yeah, don't bring your broad around your boys in any business, first of all. The only time I've ever seen it work was with Charmel, and to be honest, Booker's wife isn't that pretty. So that's the only time I've ever seen it.
Dang.
Oh, Carmella?
Yeah,
Or-
Carmella.
Charmel.
Charmel.
Well, he had
yeah,
a-
yeah.
Yeah, right. You're thinking of a different person.
Whichever one. She's built okay,
Yeah.
but any other girl wives ever come and did it work out? Like, I've never seen it work for anybody myself.
I asked James about this before you came on, Biggie, and when we were waiting for the show to start. What do you think about the idea of evil stagehands? So with the Wyatt Six is a prime example, but you also see it with groups like the House of Black and the Judgment Day when they were spooky. The idea that there's just these diabolical stagehands following these evil heels around with smoke machines and flashing lights and hijacking the cameramen and the production trucks so that they have total control over all this stuff that's getting broadcast.
Oh, well, it kind of goes back to NWO where they would take over the programming. Kind of is that kind of an example? Maybe?
But at least they would explain it with NWO. They'd grab a guy and be like, "Hey, you're gonna make this work." You know what I mean? Like they'd shove around the production crew and bully them, right? But now it's part of these supernatural, spooky people's powers, where they just have wherever they walk, there's smoke that they can crawl all creepy through. But we know that the smoke's being created by a guy holding a smoke machine, right? So is that guy just evil?
I think it's interesting. It'd be even more. Go ahead.
Accept it for what it is, man. You know.
Well, it'd be more
like when
interesting.
you go to the circus, are you worried about it being real? No,
Well,
you're going there to get entertained.
If those guys actually did more like to do with it, it'd be more interesting. But just doing it isn't super interesting to me.
So Tate was with me when I was watching and explaining why I liked CM Punk Drew McIntyre match with special guest referee Mama Rollins in that getup. But I like wrestling when it makes sense. I don't want to have to be embarrassed that my wrestlers watched The Ring too many times and now they're reenacting it in a wrestling ring. Now I know, James, you mentioned that this is and the wrestlers themselves they're calling this performance art. I'm just saying I don't like it. It's not my kind of performance art. But you're right. You said it beforehand. It's a nod to Japan. It's a nod to a style that's been around for a long time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, any of it is like as long as the gimmick gets over and if it hits the demographic it's supposed to hit, then they're going to keep going with it. Obviously.
My buddy Biggie Shaq has his 10 commandments of comic book collecting. I'm going to give a Becker commandment of pro wrestling. Unless your name is The Undertaker or Kane, I don't want to see your ass do magic.
I don't know.
The Wyatt
I'm pretty sure that when you watched the first Wyatt Six stuff, when you seen Chad Gable laying there with the hole in his head, you had probably had a little bit of moisture in your pants. Okay,
I don't
just
think
like most of
I
it.
thought, what in the
It was
hell
like,
is
oh,
this
that's
shit?
really
They just
cool.
murdered Gable?
Yeah, he's never going to
Yeah,
come
but-
back. He came back.
And then you wanted to see what happened on the next show, so you tuned in to see what was happening.
No,
to
I
Gable.
felt bad for
That
Chad.
Nobody cares about Chad Gable except
No,
for
they
now.
do because he came back. He's already back, and they've seen he's okay. That's what kills the shtick. Like hurt him and not have him come back. That makes more sense. Like it's just proven it's bullshit. Like
So I mentioned Undertaker and Kane. Those guys are legends. I was willing to put
They
up
used
with
to
their
do that
magic.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like
I was willing to put up with their magic
and then
because
all
I
of
was a
sudden something
kid.
happens, you know.
well, they're
So
7
Wyatt
footers.
Six. Horror movies suck now anyway, and I don't need to be reminded of
The Wyatt
creepy
Six isn't for our
contortionist ring
demographic.
bullshit.
It's not for our demographic. The Wyatt Six. It's aiming at the younger.
It's not
I'm
working.
gonna-
If they've
Our
First-
demographic is like, oh, look, Liv Morgan's grinding on Dom Dom. That's our demographic, unfortunately.
that is true. That is a weird demographic. I mean, that's working though
Yes,
because you got sex. Sex sells more than
The
Magic.
majority of people watching are our age group and they're men. So what sells? TNA.
yeah.
She could be ugly as sin. Doesn't make a
No, that
difference. As long as
shit
she
ain't
got
selling.
DNA.
Their last pay-per-view did terrible.
Okay, here's the
Well,
core
you know
of
what
it
I'm
all.
saying. Yeah.
Here's the core of it all. Okay, Bray Wyatt, when he had his matches, we had a lot of people saying that was junk. Okay, now I don't give a damn. When he passed away, we all look back, genius.
Yes.
Now, the other thing, though, the freaking lights in the stands, perfect. That's as far as I
was just
go.
gonna say the same thing, like the Fireflies. I
The
mean,
Firefly's
that
genius.
says it enough.
That's genius. Don't push it. Don't make it magical. Just keep what's cool. Have good promos. He could have done a lot when he started doing the red and the lights. I get it. It's fun. It's different. A House of Bray or whatever. But we're looking back at it in rose-colored shades. Like, we're not looking at it as we would if he was still here.
There were people who refused to work with Bray Wyatt because they didn't want to get any on him. It almost killed LA Knight's career, except for the crowd felt so bad for him, they put him over getting beat.
Well, I mean, that Pitch Black match was garbage.
Yeah, it was brought to you by Mountain Dew. Pitch Black. It literally was a match centered around a soft drink.
I'll tell you, out of Bray
Well,
and
look at
Matt
it now with
Hardy,
Prime.
give me Matt Hardy's stuff. Out of Bray and Matt Hardy's, like,
Man,
and
Hardy's lost his damn mind.
he's
too.
crazy, but some of his stuff was more entertaining than a Bray match. Like,
Well, you never got into the Lake of Reincarnation and all that stuff from a long time ago, where he
The mower of lawns.
baptized everybody and they became different.
Yeah.
That's where Bray. That's where he went to begin with, and turned into.
the problem is, James, is they could do good, but they just haven't been doing it yet. Like, there's potential there. I just don't know if they're going to hit it or not.
I don't know. At first, so like when they used to have those kind of gimmicky matches where it was like at the Hardy compound, and just because the character's so over the top that you automatically know that it's a shtick, so you take it for what it is, right? And then you just start to enjoy it as the entertainment that he's providing. But it was different entertainment because he was finally introducing drones, like doing it on his own ranch, so he was able to, set everything up like when we watched that Undertaker match with AJ.
Yeah, I know.
As corny as that was, I thought it was all right.
It worked. Yeah,
because it wasn't me watching Undertaker try to do moves that.
Well, before
doing anymore, right?
Before Pop Talks, so we talked about AJ and Taker. Did you know that there's a New Day versus Undertaker thing? It's like one of those TV shows that you pick your
choose your own adventure. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, Becker?
Yeah, I've seen it.
That is so dumb, bro. That was so bad. But go ahead, Pop. I just thought I'd bring that up.
Beckerman, I hate to admit it, but we are fucking old and have tons of wrestling experience by watching it and reading shit. Kids have no clue now.
Yep. They're easily entertained by like garbage.
I can let it go. You know what? I'm just gonna lay back and wait for this to be over. I don't think the Wyatt 6 is catching on. I think each week it means a little less.
Yeah, after the first them coming back the first time and seeing what they did with Gable, I was like,
yeah.
Oh.
But hey, I
don't rush
let them
to
play
watch
with their
TV.
friends.
I watch it on rewind now.
That don't mean LA Knight and Breaker ain't gonna be fun from now on. Like, that'll be fun. We got that.
Breaker's sick.
Dude,
is he sick? I didn't know that.
Guy's the future.
He's. I think they got something going on with him for sure.
And the other guy,
that guy coming up, he's gonna be legit too.
We didn't bring up. I already forgot his name, but Joe. I
Joe
believe.
Hendry.
Yeah, Hendry. He's going to be fun.
Even Joe Hendry.
So we got that going for us. We got a few fun things we could play with, but that's about it.
As long as AEW keeps sucking hard, I am good with it.
I want him to
Damn,
be good. I like
Osprey Savage.
Osprey. I've never liked
I like
Osprey.
Osprey.
I like Osprey and MJF more than I've ever liked them. So I don't know. I don't hate AEW.
No, I
I
want them to
liked
be good.
Osprey when he was in New Japan, and then once he came to AEW, and then that, I don't know. It's hard to watch that style of wrestling and appreciate it over here because it's about the show, like I was saying, you know, and they know that it's choreographed and it's all for fun over there, whereas over here you got in people that are invested thinking that it's real, you know, and the stuff going on is genuine, but I mean, we all know it's predetermined.
I keep thinking about the guys. Oh, well, we can talk about a rumor. Have you guys heard the rumor that the Lucha Bros might be coming to WWE?
I hope so.
I would be into that. I think
Penta
they'll get over.
Dark is one of my favorite current wrestlers.
Yeah, we need some good.
I don't know. I love those
luchadors.
Mexican luchas, man. You know,
Bro, those
Gotta
guys
love
are
them.
usually the best part of AEW show every night anyway. Like they really are.
especially the crazy ones, man, that are just willing to, you know. And Penta and Phoenix are both, regardless of how small Phoenix is. Phoenix is, you know, pretty small. I think he's under 200 pounds, but I mean,
It's
Very
it's clear
entertaining.
it's clear what WWE's trying to do. They're trying to take over the global market. Like that.
Yep.
If you wanted to run shows in Mexico, Penta and Phoenix are over as hell there.
if you're trying
They
to get
are
over
celebrities.
over in
What?
Japan, you got all the guys,
And in
Cody,
yeah.
AJ, any of the old Bullet Club guys.
Yeah,
They're all-
run a show
Right.
over in Japan with AJ Styles and Cody in a main
Nakamura.
event, either on each other's side or against each other, and it'll sell just because they were big names in Japan.
Whatever happened to the that one tag team that had the guy that was like Rick Rude? Whatever happened to those guys? The Ravishing or the
Bobby
Gorgeous-
Roode
Bobby Roode.
and
Yeah, what the-
James Storm. Well, Storm, is he still around in the Indies? I think
Yeah,
he
he's with that
retired.
other dude, and they're not Beer Money. They were before, because he was with that other dude way before James Storm.
Yeah. Well,
Where's
Bobby
Bobby
Roode's
Roode?
he's backstage.
done.
He got
Yeah.
injured and he became a production agent.
Did
Oh,
his
that
neck.
blows.
Yeah,
Yeah, he had a pretty serious neck injury, right?
he was TNA for a long time.
Hey, you know, TNA's doing the best they can with what they got. At least Dolph Ziggler got a belt, you know, like I'm happy with that, but I just need more Dolph kicking butt.
I'd like Dolph to come back to WWE.
They never got to really let him get what he deserved, I think.
I know. I liked him. He was great. Second coming is Shawn Michaels.
He's the best worker. He's like AJ Styles. He makes everybody look better.
And a like genuine, like really good wrestler, like you know, collegiate.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Extremely-
Kent State, right? Or Ohio? Or
No, he's from Ohio, but I don't know what college.
Whatever, I think.
I think he wrestled at Kent State.
Yeah, he's probably the best Ohio wrestler we got, honestly. I mean, Miz is probably more decorated, but Dolph, he looks better. He wrestles better. He can do everything. You know, he banged everybody's wife. Like, what else could Dolph do, dude? You know, he was with one of the Bellas before Cena, right? Yeah. That's the coolest thing about the Wyatt Six is that what's his name is Bo's banging one of the hot chicks.
Well, not
No.
anymore. They broke
Bo
up.
was with Liv, but they've been broken up for a while. since she got caught with the, devil's lettuce.
I wish that we could book a match instead of watching these boneheads book matches.
What match would you book, Biggie? You've got
dude.
WWE's roster. What are you booking?
I'm definitely getting a Hogan to do a run in, and it would probably be oh yeah.
The run in, come on, bro. You know he's gonna get wheeled down to the ring.
No, dude, Hogan
he'll get out and roll into the ring.
Me? Hogan had the best promo of the year at the RNA, dude. Like nobody beat that promo.
It was hype.
I mean, he really did. So my match would probably, what are the two biggest? It would be, I got three guys I'd want to see wrestle. You got to get Rock, Cena, and Punk some way to do something.
Rock, Cena, and Punk.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd want Punk versus Rock or Punk versus Cena, and I'd want it to mean
Rock.
Something.
Got it.
Yeah, well, any one of the three to just battle, like Rock, Cena, and Punk. Like it could be Cena versus Punk, it could be Rock versus Cena, it could be Punk versus Rock, it could be just any one of those three. I feel like those are the top three, and then Roman Reigns maybe, and Cody. Like those two could be good, but those are my three. I want Punk to do something cool, Cena and Rock.
For me, it would be I get one match. Anybody I want to see. They're both heels, so you'd have to book it a little different. But I would like to see Jacob Fatu. Ooh, I could put him in with a baby. No. Jacob Fatu and Braun Breaker.
Yeah, I said that. I was talking.
Oh, you already said that?
Wife. No, I was talking about that with my wife yesterday. I was like, she goes, I don't know, because she's not fully sold on Breaker, right? She's like,
oh man.
And I'm like,
I mean,
for how young he is,
find out what Braun Breaker's got. Put him in with a guy who knows what he's doing.
He's the perfect mix of Steiners. He's the perfect hybrid. He's like a 50-50. He needs to start doing the Steiner recliner and the Frankensteiner, and then I'm sold.
Well, he does the Frankensteiner.
Does he?
Yeah.
See, I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him do it.
I think Rock versus Cody, and have Hogan come out to help Cody with Arn Anderson managing Cody would be my match.
Okay.
That's my match.
How about you, Mr. James Willie, while Pop types up his match?
Stone Cold versus Roman Reigns.
Stone Cold versus Roman Reigns. Now we're fantasy booking. I booked a match that could probably happen.
Stone Cold is, he's still the fucking rattlesnake. You know what I mean? And Reigns is, nobody gives him as much credit as he deserves, man. I mean, he went through cancer and then came back and still did everything that we didn't want him to do, and we all hate him for it, but he is the OTC,
I like that.
You got a match for me, Pop? He's just finishing up. So everybody in the chat, I think Pop's ready. Nope. If anybody in the chat has one, put it out there. We'd like to hear what you got for what your fantasy match would be. Biggie's got
Rock and
Punk.
Cody, with Hogan coming out to help Rock, and maybe Cena to help Cody. Just to have the biggest card I could.
James has the Rattlesnake Stone Cold Steve Austin versus who was it?
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. And I picked Jacob Fatu and who the hell did I put him with? Another heel.
Braun Breaker.
And Priest.
What about those guys as a tag team, bro? Fatu
Braun and Priest as a match. I mean, we'll get that soon enough.
As a tag team. As a tag team.
I don't want to see Braun in the tag team.
Braun and Jacob Fatu would smash every single tag team. New and
Well,
old.
yeah. I mean, if you just want to see two guys blow everybody out of the water.
But think about the cool moves they'd be able to do. Power moves that would like combine.
I think Bex would be the funnest
You know,
match,
it'd be like, oh.
like physically to watch, but I think mine would draw more money.
Like
Oh
this-
God, yours
this-
would. People would be throwing babies in the air. All the talent you have running through that ring.
It wouldn't be as fun to watch. I mean, it'd be fun to watch, but it wouldn't perform as well as those two.
I've said for a while, Jacob Fatu's got my favorite moonsault in the business, but there is a contender to the throne, Logan Paul. That man can do a moonsault.
I seen Punk try to do the move where Logan would flip himself in over the top rope and do the lariat, and he fucked it all the way up on AEW. Have you seen that highlight?
With Hangman Page's move, the slingshot lariat.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
buckshot
Buckshot.
lariat.
Punk had to take a bunch of moves out of his repertoire. He has to realize he's getting a little older, but he could still do a good match.
He hurt himself on that move, yeah.
He was trying to do stuff off the top, like jump up like Cody does. He can't do that no more. Can't do the flip over the top rope. Early Punk was dynamic. Like he could do a lot of stuff.
Okay, go Pop.
Braun and Gunther or Braun and Priest with Hulk Hogan wheeled out in a wheelchair wearing O2 just to ring the bell.
Why's he got to get wheeled out?
Disrespectful, Pop.
My boy gets around really well for an 80-year-old man, okay?
He ain't even 80.
I'm just saying, like,
The most one of the best and most disappointing times in my life was when I got to meet Hulk Hogan. One, because I finally got to meet him, right? But then, like, standing beside him and then realizing, like, he really wasn't as big as you thought he was in your head. You know what I mean? Like,
he's
you
a
just
normal,
stand beside him.
yeah. I mean, still gigantic, though. wasn't
I'm
he?
not. I'm not
I
very
mean,
big
after all
myself.
the
Like, I'm six-
surgeries and
just
stuff.
under
I mean, he's
tell you about-
6'6". He's like
Yeah,
6'5" now or something.
he was still, 6'5", 6'6" at the time. That's still 6 inches on me and 100 pounds on me. But I mean, you look at him and you're just like, wow, you're not. You get a
Wow.
picture taken with him, and you're like, you look at the picture, and you're like, fuck, man, I'm almost as big as him. Like,
I don't know, man. I mean, he ain't ever going. If you watch the Johnny Carson Hulk Hogan, he looked like a man bigger than any other man. But now I get what you're saying. Like at 74, he looks like almost a normal sized human, but he's still got 5 inches on people. Like he's tall.
I
as
just
that.
want to go down to that little bar that he owns and go in there and have a beer one night, and like, because he's going to show up. Just go in there, have a beer with
He
him.
does
hang
make
out.
appearances there fairly regularly, I hear.
4 nights, 5 nights a week. They say that he, as soon as because he hangs out at the shop, does autographs and all that kind of crap for a couple hours, and then goes to the place that he owns. Does karaoke and shit.
Well, gang, I think we're about to hit the hour mark. For not having an agenda, I think we talked about a lot of different stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
We know what our next pay-per-views are. We've got AEW coming up this weekend. I may or may not go see it for free at a local comedy club at 11 in the morning on Sunday. We'll see. I got church at that time, so I don't know. But anyway, James, what do you got coming up?
Sunday pop-up auction on Geeky Dads, and then next week maybe on Madhouse, and then back here next Thursday. That's pretty much it.
Immortal Biggie Shack.
So I need to sell more books like James, man. You're a good inspiration, man. I gotta get out there. But so for me, tomorrow night 9 p.m. Eastern on my channel. I'm doing the top 15 collectors in the YouTube comic community. And I assure you, you will recognize a few people in this. I don't care who's watching. You're going to know some of these guys that's on this list. And I put together a dream team of collectors. It's going to be phenomenal. And the person that wins gets a mystery box from me. I put a lot of work into that, and I'm pretty proud of it. So besides that,
you've been doing this for a while now. You really like got into researching it. You reached out to a bunch of people. I mean, I got to imagine dudes like Doc and Steppo are going to be on this list, but tune in to see the rest and maybe some people you've never heard about that you're going to want to know about. So tune into Biggie Shack on his channel.
Yeah, I'm running a network on my channel. So I got the Big D Show, I got Book Club, I got Collector Club, I got 10 or top 5 Biggie Commandments. I got the Big D Show. I think I said that. Then Bleecker pops up, Who Dat pops up, and I got my own stuff. So about every day I do a stream. And then I'm here and I'm on church and shout out to K-pop, Insomniacs, everybody else.
Hell yeah. Me, you can see me on Tuesdays with the Hucklebuck on Comic Vikings channel. And Thursdays right here. And I'm usually in Biggie's chats at some point or another. And on Sundays with Bleeker's Church. Papa Wheelie, what do you got for us? Well, he's still typing. Hucklebuck is actually on its road to our 100th episode, too.
Nice.
And we have it so that the 100th episode, we didn't try to do this because it's always a Tuesday show. We didn't try to land on it, but our 100th episode lands on the election night, and we're going to go live for it. So what better way to avoid the election than America's election, I should say, James, than tuning into the Hucklebuck.
Here. Bleeker's Church is better than AEW's All In. I Am Live Monday with Roscoe and Kathy Monday, then Tuesday is my birthday, then Thursday back here.
Nice. Pop's birthday spectacular. I'm in.
You're doing, what are you doing? Something on live on your birthday?
You're doing a stream? Nice.
Nice. Tuesday night, you said? Okay. Remind me on Sunday or Monday, bro. I'm down.
I'll have 100%. To watch the rewind. I've got a really big show on Tuesday with, I never promote it on here because it's art sales. But comic book sketch night, it's a really big one next Tuesday. We've got Sergio Aragonis, Stan Sakai, Bill Morrison, and Scott Shaw.
What? Fuck, I love Stan Sakai stuff now. I got a bunch of his stuff.
You buy a sketch op with one of them, they draw it live for you.
Wow. Nice.
But yeah, those are 4 legends in cartooning. Yeah, Scott Shaw's great. He did a Captain Carrot for me last time.
Before we go, Becker, what's the name of that?
That's awesome.
What was Don Sperling passed? We should shout him out before we go.
Who passed?
The Marvel creator.
Marvel artist or something, was it?
Don
Perlin? He died a while back.
Well, it's been what, like a month?
It's been a little bit, yeah.
Oh, my fault. I thought it was more recent.
No, you're good. I mean, that's a guy to honor. He
7:45 Pacific Standard. Ooh, late start. Gotcha.
Yeah. That's about all I got.
What are you turning? 30? 43? Wow, brother.
Damn, you're older than I am.
Awesome.
Be the same age as me until I turn 44 in October.
I'm 45 in June.
I am 43 in May.
Or wait, maybe I'm 45 now.
I'm already 43. I'll be 44 next year. Shit, I'm getting old.
I think I'm 45 now. 79 I was born.
Let's get out of here before I remember how old I am.
Right.
Papa, can you get us out of here?
Take your time, Pop. No rush.
That's awesome, Tater.
I was
Tate's
Not a
50
day over,
in
not a day over 30.
I was in the gas station and somebody was